You cannot come and tell Saieed, well, hear this now. Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go. It come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on side. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go in a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Dance! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago, coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I'm your host. We do want to remind you viewers to share our live stream on Facebook. Every night we go live. This we ask of you. So, Real Talk with Saieed Ali on Facebook. Trinidad and Tobago, feel free to share our live stream. Also on YouTube, it's TT Real Talk. Subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. So viewers, you have a few seconds or 2 minutes to do that. Kindly do that for us. This is something we ask every night. So the dengue cases in Trinidad and Tobago. The number of dengue deaths in TNT remain at 18. This is according to the latest figure from the Ministry of Health, which released this afternoon. In its update, the dengue cases, the ministry further revealed that 1,437 laboratory confirmed cases. It's an increase of 21 cases since the ministry last update on September 20th. The ministry also stated that as at September 23rd, a total of 1,176 yellow fever notices have been issued to property owners or occupiers, directing them to clean up their surroundings. In this case, an increase of 31 since the ministry's last update. Of the 70, an increase of 6 property owner-occupier have been identified for the consideration of institution of legal proceedings for non-compliance. So Trinidad and Tobago, again, we ask of you to clean your property. It will be sad to know that some member of your family died with dengue for the lack of you cleaning your property. And who is it going to be on? On you. On you, Trinidad and Tobago. Remember that. So viewers, I must remind you of the 4% offer that Real Talk Financing have. Remember, it's interest up front. No other financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago is giving you this offer. So every night I encourage you. Now, why do I encourage you? You see, you took a number of years to work for your hard cash, and you put it in a financial institution with no interest. No interest up front. No interest meaning 1%, 2%. So we at Real Talk Financing, we came up with the idea, you know what? If I invest 100,000 in a financial institution and I have to wait 20 years to collect my interest at 2%, it's not making any sense to me. But we at Real Talk now, we are giving you a high interest rate an interest up front. No financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago is doing that for you. They will take your money and you would wait for your 20 years to get your interest. Remember that, viewers. Only at Real Talk Financing, you are going to get that. Nowhere else in Trinidad and Tobago, you are going to get an interest up front. Now, the thing is about interest up front, you're getting all your interest up front. Not part payment, not quarter payment, not a 6 months payment, not a 3 months payment. You're getting your interest up front. If your interest is 10,000, you're getting it up front. Your interest is 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, you're getting it up front. That is a good thing about Real Talk Financing, interest up front. So remember, our numbers will be on screen, viewers. Call the office, set up an appointment. Who is going to benefit from this? You, the citizens. You are going to enjoy your interest. You go in parties if you're a partyholic person. You don't repair, say, a vehicle if your vehicle needs repair. You're renovating your house if it needs renovating. You're going for a vacation if you need a vacation. You're paying for school. A whole 3 years, 4 years, you're paying up front. So remember that, viewers, only at Real Talk Financing you're going to get these offers. So as we start our program tonight, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley have stated that the government has not received any bill from artist Gillian Bishop for the new National Coat of Arms, but expects it will be in the context of a professional service. Dr. Rowley was responding to questions from opposition MP Rudinath Indar Singh. Rowley described Bishop as a well-regarded artist with significant status in the national art community. He said her selection to design the pan element, which will replace the Columbus tree ship in the coat of arms, was in accordance with the Public Procurement and Disposal of Property Act. The PM also added that Bishop is a well-known jeweler who has frequently been commissioned to create original pieces respective of the culture of Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to this.
Having regard to Ms. Bishop's well-known and accepted standing and stature in the pantheon of national artists, she was selected to provide a design on the country's coat of arms to accommodate a change within the triangle to replace the Columbus ships with the steel pan. This was done in accordance with the provisions of the Public Procurement and Public Disposal of Public Property Act. Ms. Gillian Bishop is a well-known jeweler who designs and creates one-of-a-kind jewelry in precious metals and gemstones. She creates trophies and specially commissioned official gifts in exotic woods with metallic embellishments. Ms. Bishop has frequently been commissioned to create original pieces respective of the culture of Trinidad and Tobago, which were used for diplomatic exchanges abroad on very many occasions. She has distinguished herself for the reverence she holds with respect to our local culture while using unique concepts to preserve in her artistry. Ms. Bishop is considered one of the masters of her art form. To this end, she was recognized by the Ministry of Sport and Community Development in 2019 as one of the facilitators of Mentoring by the Masters program advanced by the said ministry, and the government had no difficulty in us assigning her to this particular project. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, Rowley highlighted her recognition by the Ministry of Sports and Community Development in 2019 as a facilitator in its Masters Mentoring Program. On August 29th, Rowley said the cost won't be hundreds of millions of dollars. Listen to this now.
So there's no question of unnecessarily engaging in millions of dollars. I could tell you no, because I'm so frugal. I might be the only person, only MP, who is still using the old Parliament logo on the Parliament letterhead.
In an interview on August 28th, Bishop expressed her honor had been asked to contribute to the national symbol, acknowledging the challenge of following in the footsteps of Mr. Chang. Kalissa Chang, her artist hero. Trinidad and Tobago. Now, I want you all to understand this. Changing the coat of arms from the ships to the pan, that is Rowley's idea. Rowley is saying it will not cost hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, the thing is, you decide to do this, okay. Part of the country agree with you, part did not agree with you. But the thing is, what documents? You said not all documents are going to have an effect on it. Okay? Good. Now, what are the documents that is going to change the symbol? What document is going to be changed? Are they going to change the money? Are they going to change the passport, the license, the ID card? What are they going to change? What are some of the documents that will be changed? Nobody's hearing anything about it. The government is not saying what documents will be changed. So we, the individual, from jump, will be able to start saving. Because to redo a passport cost. To redo your driver's permit and ID card, it will cost. You're traveling. It will cost. And the government is going to make this money. We are the ones who are going to be hustling and bustling to get it done. Is the bird paper going to change? This is what we don't know as yet. But Dr. Rowley said it is not going to cost hundreds of millions of dollars. But how much is it going to cost? That is the thing. Let's say it costs at 2,000 or 3,000 to come up with a design at 20,000, could be 100,000. Rowley didn't say what figure she have placed on the government as yet. So that is something we need to know because it's taxpayers' money. Secondly, we need to know what document that is going to be changed. And this is something that we don't know. We don't. So right now we are in shambles. Presently, yes, we don't know. So viewers, it's the night before the holiday. What are your plans for Republic? Moving along, Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has awarded a $25 million contract to a Laramie-based Diamond System and Suppliers Limited for the purchase of 3,000 body cameras for police officers. Sources familiar with the contract stated that Diamond System and Suppliers Limited has partnered with Huawei to bring in the body-worn camera from China. The acquisition for more body camera comes at a time when the TTPS is under public scrutiny. Following 41 fatal police shootings already recorded for this year, the resistance by officers wearing the cameras. According to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, 1,120 body cameras have been provided to officers to wear on the job, but they have not been fully used as required. Listen to this.
Madam Speaker, 1,120 body cameras are in use in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and that represents 12% of the police service. These cameras are currently issued to frontline officers who are in contact with the public on a daily basis. The process of procuring more is underway, and this is an administrative matter of the Commissioner of Police in accordance with Section 123 of the Constitution. We expect that more officers will have body cameras as more are procured, but in the meantime, Madam Speaker, this is being utilized by special units. And not every police officer will have a body camera on. It depends on where the officers are working, and we're just saying those who are in direct contact with the public on a daily basis.
In April, Commissioner of Police Earl Haywood Christopher gave directive to officers who had been issued such device to wear them while on duty. Sources obtained a copy of the letter of the awarded, signed off by Christopher on August 26, 2024, to Diamond System and Supply Limited, which stated, your quotation submission dated July 18, 2024, for the supply and delivery of 3,000 EC 310 smart 4K body-worn camera have been evaluated and assessed. It said, the Commissioner of Police have accepted the offer of your quotation submission at the cost stated $24,965,310. The tender process took place in July, and the source said 3 other companies submitted bids for the project before Diamond System and Supply Limited was chosen in August. So Trinidad and Tobago, 3,000 body cameras is on its way to Trinidad and Tobago. We are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we want to hear from Scotland and what is in place for extortion for businessmen in Trinidad and Tobago after this.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid upfront. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union, Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery. At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
So Trinidad and Tobago, who is Diamond System and Supply Limited. Now, you know, in Trinidad and Tobago, we are not here to bad talk any company. We are not. But in Trinidad and Tobago, when the government is doing something, we are all aware that it has to be linked to somebody they know. That is all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. But we are doing some little checks to find out who they are. And hopefully before the end of the show, we are going to find out who is Diamond System Supply Limited. We are going to find out how long the company is registered and if any ministers has friends or family related. Because for far too long, these things have been happening. Government friend, government, ministers, wife, children, getting contracts. So the money stays within a circle. But nevertheless, before our show ends tonight, I am sure we're going to get that information to find out who are they. Yep, who are they? Minister in the Ministry of National Security, Keith Scotland, have stated that there are systems in place to deal with extortion. You know, when ministers make statements like these, there are things in place to deal with crime. There are things in place to deal with faulty roads. There are things in place to deal now with extortion. So what actually is in place to deal with extortion? Because this time around is not the first time extortionists have been taking place in Trinidad. Extortionists, they're taking advantage. They don't care. By a phone call. So what method are in place now to capture an extortionist? Scotland spoke in a closed-door meeting with members of the Shogunas Chamber of Industry and Commerce at the chambers. Now, Scotland called on businessmen to make report to extortion to the police, as Trinidad and Tobago Police Service had put several arrangements in place that would speed up police response time. The minister said he was remaining mum on the plan for Central, but stated that crime, illegal firearm, and issues of extortion was discussed. Listen to this.
We discussed crime. We discussed illegal firearms. We discussed the issues of extortion and the safety of the business community and the living community in Shogunas.
Chamber head Ballad Marad said he was pleased with the response from Scotland. Marad said some of the strategies came into effect since Friday. He said there was a plan in place to deal with extortion, and without revealing too much of the plan, Marad said Scotland is now aware as to where persons are located, what they actually do, and how they go about extorting money from businesses. Listen to this now.
Again, there's a plan in place that we prefer not to reveal totally, simply because those people, the perpetrators, will probably be a little bit more wise, and we prefer to keep that confidential. But there is a robust plan in place in terms of how we catch them. He's now aware as to where they are located, what they actually do, and how they go about extorting money from businesses.
Somehow I don't understand this, but I don't want to bad talk anybody, eh? But all of a sudden, they know who the extortionists are. All of a sudden, they know where they're living. So the police didn't have all this information before? I don't know, I'm just asking. After one meeting with Scotland, they know where the extortionist lives. They know who they are and they know how they operate. So the police didn't know this before? I don't know, I'm just asking. Friday gone, they had a meeting. Today's Monday, they're saying they know the extortionists, they know where they're living, they know how they're functioning. Okay, so prior to Friday, did they have this information? If they had this information, what did they do with it? I'm just asking. What did they do with it? Tell me. I'm a businessman in Shogunas. You had a meeting Friday gone. I'm not bad talking to anybody, you know. But when you make a statement like you know who they are, you know where they're living, you know how they're functioning, which means you have to know this down quite a little while before. You just didn't have a meeting Friday and come up with the idea of, all right, you know what? We know who they are. So after Friday meeting, you know who they are? You didn't know that before? So all the businessmen that get extorted in Shogunas, which means somebody had to know who the people were. Sometimes, let me tell you something. Sometimes when I say something, it just don't make sense at all. It don't make sense at all. But that is my 2 cents. This is my 2 cents. I am a businessman in Shogunas. I am a member of the chamber also. But, nah boy. Nothing? After one meeting, they know who the people is. So before they didn't know. Common sense, not everybody have it. Common sense. It's sad. It's really, really sad. But I believe more could have been done before Scotland attended to that meeting. Trust me. Sometimes you just have to listen, you know. You just have to listen sometime how people speak. CCIC members also raised concern about the prevalence of any Venezuelan gangs, firearm violence, and criminal activity during the Christmas season. We didn't hear anything about that. We did not hear anything about that. But play back the video one more time with Scotland.
We discussed crime. We discussed illegal firearms. We discussed the issues of extortion and the safety of the business community and the living community in Shogunas.
Again, there's a plan in place that we prefer not to reveal totally, simply because those people, the perpetrators, will probably be a little bit more wise, and we prefer to keep that confidential. But there is a robust plan in place in terms of how we catch them. He is now aware as to where they are located, what they actually do, and how they go about extorting money from businesses.
Trinidad and Tobago. I could just laugh, that's all. That's all I could do, I could just laugh. I'm gonna tell you something, eh? We have a cyber unit in Trinidad and Tobago. We have intelligence officers in Trinidad and Tobago. We have cell tracking software in Trinidad and Tobago. TTPS owns all this. And one time an incident took place in Trinidad. Clongenbert's son's cell phone went missing. Within an hour or so, they know exactly where the phone was. They took almost half of Trinidad and Tobago police force and went down to get the phone. Yep. When somebody is kidnapped, all of a sudden they can't trace anything. They cannot trace anything. When somebody got a threatening phone call from point A to point B, from, let's say, from a kidnapper or an extortionist, or somebody wants to commit an act, somebody call you to threaten you to shoot you, automatically the system they stop working. I'm telling you, automatically the system they stop working. Call a good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead, you're live.
What a fantastic job that you're doing, Mr. Ali. A lot of people is hidden under the surface. But you see, your program will bring them out. I want to ask Senator Bego, if they believe anything that junior minister, you understand, I don't want to call him from today, but I don't junior minister, and I want to find out from the people if they believe anything that the police will say. The police in this country, it hurts me to say that, because I come from that. You understand? I come from that, brother. And it hurts me to say that the police in this country only just using words as thematic words to fool the population. What the police is going to do? You understand? And I want to use the word alleged because I don't want to jeopardize the station. You understand? This thing is called bribe. When you're catching people with drugs, you understand? The first thing that is ask them how money you can pay before you go to the magistrate, before you lock you up. You understand? And they want to 10,000, 5,000, 15,000. You understand? So the police in this country is not causing this sort of banditry. That's what's going on right now. Nobody's safe in this country, Mr. Ali. Nobody. The people in this country only have listened to Hines, you understand? And waste of time Hines and that minister they put recently. The man said go back to Colcock and bicycle and walk the street and go in lecturing. No, we want to tell you understand? That we have things in control. We was making sure and securing places. Parents must take care of children and all that thing. But the same people the same officer who are talking right now, who have big positions, ain't doing nothing in this country besides collecting a salary and trying to run you off the road when they come in with the unmarked vehicle and you must move from the road. Not me. You understand? And I hope and pray to the Almighty God that the people in this country rebel against them because you know why? They're too advantageous, my brother. And the people in this country, it's time to get rid of PNM. If all they do like Kamala, they want to get rid of PNM because PNM got first. They are corrupted, and you can't tell me $500 billion in this country gone, and you know nothing about it, but they're still calling Kamala and thief. You understand? Kamala can still show and show the population and the nation. Even Richard and I want to see. You understand? They can see that everything that the woman do. You understand? This will take $500 billion more. And coming Monday coming for $59 billion again. To do what? To do what? Or let's take it out and get rid of them because none of them is good. And the police service, oh God, shame. Shame on that. You understand? Shame on them. You know why? Karma is a bitch. You understand? Because you know what? The woman was fighting for almost 25. You understand? In the merit list. And they bring Chuck. You know why? You know why they do it? Because it was used she as a puppet. And then who talking in the station in my brother? Them are not the same. I thank you, my brother.
Thank you, my friend. Viewers, let me tell you something. We are at a stage in Trinidad and Tobago. I've heard Dr. Rowley said we are highlighting the crime and making it bad for foreign investments. Yeah, he said that a good few times. Too much crime on the front the front page of the newspaper. We are warding off investors. But the thing is, this is where we are. You have a call? This is where we are, Trinidad and Tobago. The reality you face is what is taking place in the country. Imagine all the kidnappings that have took place in Trinidad and Tobago. You want to tell me you can't trace them? All the extortionist phone calls in Trinidad and Tobago, we cannot trace them. It's sad, you know. Clumingbird's son lost his phone and in about an hour or so, half of Trinidad and Tobago police went down to look for the phone. Yep, they pinpoint where the phone was. But if a citizen go in the police station to make a report that somebody called to threaten them and tell them this and tell them that and tell them the next, you know, all of a sudden the system don't work again. It don't work. Now I will tell you this, I will tell you this. Before something prolonged, before a threat prolonged, we have a system in place. Good. You have to stop crime before it happens. We have a system in place. Cell tracking software. TTPS has it. Somebody call you, they threaten to shoot you, they threaten to murder your family, they threaten to rob you. Okay, good. You go in the station and make a report. Hear how simple this is at Trinidad and Tobago. And this could prevent a lot of crime. You go in the station and make a report. The officer take it up from there, give you a letter. You go by Digicel. You go where they have to go to. They track the phone. When you track the phone, right, you know exactly where the call coming from. You know who has the phone. Good? Right. You download the voice in. Yes, you download the voice in. TDPS now knows who have the phone. You go, you pick up that person. You do a voice recognition. This is the individual. That is the individual voice matching. Boom. TDPS officer charge him. And that is it right there. That is it right. It's simple as that. But you know what? It's too much I think for the officer to go through. It's too much. So what they would say, well, if it happen again, come back and make a next report. It happen again, you go back, you make a next report, and they tell you if it happen again, you come back and make a report. And so we're going on. Until, you know what? Some member of the family died, some get shoot up, money had to pass for protection, and that is how it goes. I'm into security, you know. I'm into security and intelligence. I have a security company. And it's so simple. You see, when you roll out these measures and people know, you know what? This is actually a thing in Trinidad. This is a thing in the police service. People going to jail. People facing magistrate. You see, when these things start happening, people will say, you know what? We're going to rock back. We ain't going to do that again because our police could come and pick you up in the night. You think in US and in Canada and Europe and England, you think that could happen? No FBI coming and breaking down your door and carrying you one time. Yes, I'm telling you. Me asking you, I'm telling you. But in Trinidad, we lackadaisical. We too foolish. Some of the police officers, you know, well, if it happen again, you come back and let us know. No, do your work. You're getting paid to protect people. You're getting paid to serve. Don't sit down and get a big belly in the station. Don't sit down and be lazy. Because if it happened to you as an officer, you will go. Let me tell you something. You will go the distance to make sure. And you find out who have the phone. You find out where the person living. You're doing everything necessary to safeguard your family. You know why? Because you could do it. But what about the citizen who can't do it? Kola, good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Talk to me, my friend.
Saeed, I was reading an article in the paper today about the expressway, and I just want to say condolences to the Gangabisoon family, right? Concerning, I don't know if you did read the article about the modern father that was killed in 2012, and police never find the suspect.
Correct.
Right? And let me tell you something. From what I read in the article, right, they had enough evidence, fingerprints, proper fingerprints with blood and all in the house time to find these people. But again, police just come and pappy show everybody when they come on a crime scene. They may just come lock down everything and pappy show everybody and go the way. They don't really care about solving crime in this country. People they understand that, right?
You see, caller, until it had knock on police doors, until police family ain't feel pinch at the crime in Trinidad, until the minister's family ain't feel pinch at the crime in Trinidad, until those sitting in parliament, them and their family ain't feel pinch in crime, they would not understand. Look, they are saying they hold somebody. The lawyer petitioning now for the individual to come out of jail. They are sing on a phone call, video. Could I hear you? See where crime region Trinidad now? Continue, caller.
Yeah, because I watching this thing, and you know they release the suspect, so therefore they hold the wrong person in this whole matter again now. So they're wasting police time, but just to touch on what I was talking about too. If anything happen to police and crime come knocking on them door, them had the whole station to go behind the bandits, you know.
Correct.
We don't have that. Have that. When you call them, they don't even have a vehicle to come by you.
Correct.
You understand? But when you watch on the highway, you see a vehicle out in a fridge here, you see a vehicle out in a stove going on there, and they coming from Price Mart and all kind of things. That's what police vehicle is be used for. And let me tell you, see the $25 million where the commissioner go on and take and taxpayers money to go and buy body cameras. Let me tell you something. The country or the government say they don't have money to run the country. And we come into the end of the financial year. And what ministry does have a habit of doing is buying all kind of things, spending and squandering the money coming down to this last couple of days.
Well said.
This is what it is do, and they're always doing it. Why that $25 million had to jump out now? Why she take that money now to go and buy body cameras? They have body cameras right now. Any police has put on any body cameras. You ever see a police star body camera? $25 million to buy 3,000 body cameras, like $8,300 for a body camera. You get a body camera online for less than $200.
Correct.
For less than 200 US.
Correct.
That's the price you get now for. So I don't know what game they always play with people, you know. I don't understand it. And I see they extend this property tax thing again now, like we were saying all the time, right? Because they don't have the numbers. People on the whole of their hand, I keep saying this thing, boy. On the whole of their hand, don't go and pay this property tax. They're trying to force people into this extortion thing. Anyway, sorry, you enjoy it.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, embarrassing. Anti-people tax coming after this.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid up front. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Real Talk viewers. Remember, we are Real Talk viewers. We are encouraging you to open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Financing. Remember, you're getting your interest up front. No financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago is doing that. Go to your banks, go to your credit union, look at it, and then you will understand how much we are offering you with an interest up front. Remember, you're not getting a 6 months payment, you're not getting a 3 months payment, you're not getting a 1 year payment, you're getting your interest up front in a check or in cash. Remember that, viewers. We are the only one doing that. So, Kuva South MP Rudinath Indar Singh have stated that he takes little comfort in the imminent announcement of an extension of the deadline for payment of residential property tax. He warned that if the PNM is re-elected, it would unleash a series of measures that would brutalize the population. Well, we are already seeing that. Responding to questions in the Senate about challenges people were having in meeting the September 30th deadline, Imbut said solutions are being worked on to address these challenges. He identified increasing the capacity of District Revenue Office to handle more people, collaboration with commercial banks, and online payment method as some of the solutions being explored. Indar Singh warned the population about a re-election of a PNM. Whenever the next general election is called, the government will unleash a deadly dose of cocktail of anti-people tax on you. Listen to this.
That Imbert and Rowley and the entire cabinet, they are on the march. They will stop at no cost in terms of the implementation of the property tax and what they have to unleash on the population of Trinidad and Tobago. We have made it very clear from day one that the UNC is opposed to the Trinidad and Tobago Revenue Authority and the property tax. The UNC has been on record as saying that when we are elected as the next government of Trinidad and Tobago, we will repeal and address the issue of the property tax. We will go back to our formula along the lines of the land and building taxes and so on, and we will also re-examine this whole issue of the TTRA, because for us, this property tax and the TTRA, you recently witnessed, this is property tax torture. It is a government of chaos, long lines, mayhem, and so on.
Now, viewers, he repeated the UNC promise to scrap the property tax and review the TT Revenue Authority. Now, the TT, Trinidad and Tobago Revenue Authority, Trinidad and Tobago, Klungenbert was happy. He was proud that he won. He was proud that he won to tax you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, Klungenbert doesn't have taxes to pay, you know. I want you to understand that. But they went to the PV Council to get the legislation and the bill passed to come to tax you. All you put him there, and all you are going to pay whatever he says. Remember that, eh? Remember that this same individual who said the government will work for you, this same individual went to Parliament with a legislation to bully you into paying property tax. They brought a legislation of $5,000 if you fail to pay property tax. That is what they did. It becomes a criminal offense. You have your property. Let me tell you something. They're renting and they're telling you how much your property could rent for. The same property that you took a loan to build for 50 years loan. They're telling you how much money you could get. And then they're taxing you on top of that. I, Saieed Ali, stand very firm in telling you I am not paying any. I am not paying no property tax. And I have been standing for you. But yet, you choose to run to BIR. Line up in a line with your money to pay property tax. But the little common sense you had that when you vote PNM, I will say it like this because this is the reality. When you vote the PNM went into cabinet, cook whatever they had to cook, and they bring it to pass it on to you who put them there. I heard a lot of people say, oh, it's not a problem, the PNM bring it out, we go pay property tax. But when they do check, they have money to buy potatoes to cook in their house. Yes, I've seen that. They're complaining about the pothole. They're complaining about electricity too high. You're complaining about you're not getting water. You're complaining about property tax. You're complaining about the groceries. You're complaining books too high for your son to go to school. You're complaining about fees and tax and tax. Who is bringing it out? Your minister is bringing it out. I always tell people, I'm not for UNC, I'm not for PNM. I'm not affiliated with political party. I am not. I am an individual who funds my own program that will stand for you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Who do not understand your rights, I will stand up for you. So when you do understand what is taking place, you would understand why am I standing here. You will understand why am I bringing all the information to you. You will understand the reason I am bringing it to you. So that they, in authority, who all you put, would not dig out all your true eye. While all is saying, he working for we. Where did he work for you? The man went to Privy Council in London with a case. We want to tax the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, but we need you all to pass it. And some English persons in our next country give them the okay to tax you all who put them there with your property. It's sad, eh? Really, really sad to know this is the level that Imbert went to. It's really sad. Moving along. Attorney General at the Scotland Regional Armour also stated that the government has heeded a call from the Judiciary for legislation to deal with critical issues affecting it, including the efficiency, dispensation of civil matter, and hiring qualified people to handle them. He not realize that? He just like Heinz sleeping. However, opposition leader Kamala Prasad Bisesa questioned whether the government was since about helping the judiciary and if there was a conflict of interest which Armour did not disclose in the legislation that he referred to. Let's listen to this.
This is a bill that is before the Parliament today that was approved by the Cabinet to be brought here for passage into law on the recommendation of the Judiciary in the ongoing conversation that continues to take place between the Judiciary, represented by the Chief Justice, and the Executive, represented by the Office of the Attorney General, myself, in an engagement with the Judiciary that does not rely on the artificiality of persons who claim to be constitutional experts when they speak to the so-called separation of powers. The reality is this government accepts that it must engage with, speak with, and work with the judiciary as an independent arm under the Constitution to progress the quality of administration of justice for the citizens of this country.
The AG said that the bill was first listened to on the House order paper on June 28th. The proposed civil division, Armour continued, will be structured similarly to other specialized courts, such as the Family and Traffic Court. Listen to this again.
It is a remarkable coincidence in the context of the opening today of the new law term and the remarks of the Honourable Chief Justice that this bill is being debated for passage in this House today, this bill having been first listed on the order paper on the 28th of June 2024. The Civil Division will focus on streamlining civil cases within a specialized court structure that can expedite the resolution of small claims as it affects the common men and women in the streets of Trinidad and Tobago, in our communities and other parts, and manage estate administration, that is to say probate matters, much more efficiently and expeditiously. The legislative changes, that is to say the establishment of the small claims subdivision, is a critical element, and the bill proposes repealing the Petty Civil Court Act to modernize the case management and case flow management approach within the financial jurisdiction of small claims below $50,000.
Now Trinidad and Tobago, Passad Basis has said, notice that the House would debate the bill was given on September 11 and notice of the bill or the law term opened on September 17. She added that there was no coincidence in the bill being debated on the same day. Listen to come.
As the Honourable AG keeps telling us that it's coincidental, repeated several times in his contribution, that today the law term is opening and that we are debating this bill about the civil jurisdiction of the court and establishing a small claims court. But, Madam Speaker, you may well know, being an attorney, a lawyer yourself, the notice of the law term opening was issued since the 11th of September. 11th September. And the bill, this bill, came, we were given notice of this bill sitting on Tuesday, the 17th of September. Which one was first, Madam? The 11th September or the 17th September? Clearly, it is the 11th of September we were given notice of the law opening. So there's no coincidence. It is no coincidence that you placed it today to compete with the law opening taking place at Napa.
Viewers, just a little update. Missiles, rocket found in Trinidad. So, 2 men fishing along the Godino riverbank in the vicinity of the Godino Bridge in South Oropouche have discovered what resembled to be missile. According to police, the projectile were found between rocks on the southeastern side of the bridge. The area is a popular recreational fishing area where boats are often seen entering the river mouth near the Shore of Peace cremation site to reach the wetland and the upstream village of Woodland. The river is known to be located for migrants entering from South America and for contraband to land. The discovery was made at around 7 p.m. on Sunday. Responding to police officers counted 22 cylinder-like projectile resembling military warheads. Police officer contacted Major Curry from the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, who said the Defense Force would assist with the disposal exercise. The object appeared to have been at the location for some time, given the rusting, and the origin is unknown. So Trinidad and Tobago, it is also not known if the projectile alive and could have exploded. So that is something that we do not know. We are out of time for tonight, viewers, but nevertheless, our run of this program is tomorrow from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. We'll be right back here on another night for Real Talk with Saieed as we go live. Until then, good night.